Greetings, everyone. It is an honor to be here with you. Thank you for joining us today. I am AuroRa. I am Galactic historian, spiritual revolutionist, as well as an author, and also the founder to A.U.R.A Hypnosis Healing. And I am the author to Galactic Soul History of the Universe, which is right here, which you can purchase under Amazon, both in paper and in ebook, as well as you can purchase the audiobook under my website only, risingphoenixaurora.com. Under my website, I offer services, and all these services that I also offer, I do also certify them internationally, in person and online. So or hypnosis, entity removal, past life regression. We have workshops that we have every couple months, as well as online workshops, as well as in-person retreats. You can find more information about this under my website, risingphoenixaurora.com. The next workshop is now in November. Love to see you there, where you learn how to remove and weave yourself out of the inverted matrix to step into the organic blueprints of Earth and your organic blueprint. And the next in-person live retreat is in January 2023 in Siesta Key, Florida. Love to see you there. Watch the testimonials. We have a whole playlist on YouTube directing you on all whether if you'd like to see someone to recommending the retreat. All right, here we go. Just making sure you guys can hear me good, right? Looks all really good. Okay, beautiful. All right, and to support this video and all that we do, you could go to Patreon, Rising Phoenix Mystery School, where you can go ahead and support us for $4 a month, and you get a live Q&A, private Q&A with a group with me, and we have a lot of fun and guided meditation. So today's video, let's go ahead and get started. So we're setting a strong intention, especially because we're talking about the rapture, and we know how programmed religion is, and that is something that has been taken from original Essenes teachings, original Atlantean teachings, original Yeshua and the disciples' teachings. So we want to set a clear intention. Don't even bother with your hatred, your negativity. It will be yours to transmute. I don't consent, and I'm too sovereign. So don't even bother. All right, beautiful. Okay, so let's get started. All right. Beautiful. So if you haven't had a chance to write questions, go ahead and write them there. We have Minnie and Gina both in chat, and they're going to be giving over the questions. So write them down, and we'll go over them. So let's talk about, first of all, what is the rapture? So just like my beginning intro explaining that. That this is original sacred teachings from Yeshua and the Essenes and the Atlantean times, who were the Atlanteans. The Atlantis people were the ancestors to the Essenes in their village Qumran. We channeled the Essenes, so you can go look at that. We also have a playlist of Jesus and Mother Mary, if you want to check it out under YouTube for more information to understand the content that we're about to speak. We're only going to be sharing new content here versus some of the other content that we've placed here. So the way that our YouTube channel works is that we have over 400 videos under our YouTube, and then you could also go to rumble.com as where all our sensitive content is at, as well as Spotify. Okay, beautiful. So we'll be directing you to places if need be. Now, so let's begin. What does the rapture mean? The rapture means the second coming of Christ, of Yeshua, of Jesus, of the Christ consciousness energy. That's what it means. Okay. Now, with this second coming of energy, we want to make it very clear that it doesn't specifically mean, perhaps in a form where the Bible might have explained that Jesus is going to come and he's going to, at that point, bring forth what it seems like what they're trying to say is ascension, that he's going to bring forth ascending those who would be a matching vibration to Yeshua, and the energy of love light, really of source, would be then ascending out and flowing out of, say, their physical body, ascending out, passing away, is another form. And we also want to direct you to All About the Event and Ascension, which you can find under YouTube, which would be very powerful for you to watch to understand this content further of what we're talking about, Ascension. Okay. All right. Beautiful. Now, there's a lot of talk right now about the rapture, and there's a lot of people. Some people are kind of freaking out about it, or they think it's like really coming. It's that same kind of talk where there's going to be continued talk, and there's going to be continued disclosures. I mean, distractions, distractions along the way as we continue to be in this earthly incarnation. So it is a distraction when it becomes a unbalance, is what it is. When it becomes a fear base, when it becomes fearful within you, and then if you view it as it is part of ascension, of organic process of earth and the collective, then that at that point it's balance and you're in surrender. Okay, so there's a lot of speaking of that coming of Christ, and what we want to explain is that there's nothing savior about it. What it is that beginning in 9, by the way, happy 9/9 portal today, very powerful, and then 9 plus 9 equals 18, which then equals 9, right? And then the whole day equals 5, which that's going to be very important and vital for our communications in the next video that we're about to communicate right after this one. So stay tuned to that. The Council 4 is going to be profound. Okay, and let's see. As we're going through and we are connecting, so in beginning of 1999, because of it, we're seeing the multiplications of 999. I saw what they showed me was talking to Yeshua, and some of this communications. I do channel the angelics, Ra, Galactics, benevolence of our universe, and they come to us through different forms, either myself or other people through past life regressions. Okay. And when I was talking to Yeshua, he was explaining that in 1999, there was a rise of his energy of the Christ consciousness birthing into earth. It was a time, and it went pretty unnoticed energetically, but we can feel it within us. There was a shift. There was a astrological birthing into earth of Christ and the Christ consciousness energy overall. Okay, and then he explained that because we were preparing for the century that we are in, because this will be the century that we will ascend out in the 2 century, right? The 2000 century, which then adds up to the 2. And what year are we in? We're in the 222, and all of that connects to the 2. Okay. And it reminds me of a song I was singing last night, which means somodos, somodos, somodos. It's a song, it means we are two, between a sacred relationship. So yes, the 2 and all of that, we've channeled what the 2 means since the beginning of the end of last year. We started speaking of what the 2 representation of this year means. And then also in the twin flame video union that we talked about. So all of that, you can locate that under YouTube. We'll add all these links later so you can find them. Okay, in the Mayan Atlantean, we started talking about the 2s and the Atlantean and sacred information. So because in the century of the 2 of the 2000, we're going to finally see the ascension, the birthing out, the rapture. Okay, now going further into that is the rapture is meant to be what Yeshua had written originally in his sacred teachings in the original real organic Bible, what they had left behind alongside the Essenes and the people that were in alignment with him in communicating and channeling over information. And what they were trying to explain is that the century of the 2000, beginning in the 1999, that we were going to, at that point, start seeing the rapture, if you want to call it that. So it's really important that we center and we balance ourselves. Again, if we're being swayed and energetically to thinking something is about to happen, we're panicking, we're taking strong precautions, um, which is good to plan ahead, but don't allow it to become unbalanced, because too much of something is an imbalance. It's not healthy in any form, physically, energetically, in any form. Okay. So that we wanted to clarify. So the rapture has been happening. It has been occurring, especially in days that add up to the number 9, day that is the 9th. And we also have beautiful Yeshua's birthday coming up. And he always has explained to us from the beginning is that his birthday, his actual birthday, was not the 13th, in the 13th month of the year, which would be 1225, the 13th moon cycle. It wasn't then. He explained it was the 9th. So in our perspective, we will understand it as the 9th month, which would be September 11. One of the reasons why they also made the Illuminati did the false they planned the hoax, not really a hoax, but they planned the inverted attack. It was them that did that on the 9/11. And one of the reasons why we really want to have this video today is that it's really important that we who are awakened, we understand that. We don't want to feed into that, but every year see that it's horrible, the energy, the 9/11, who they planned, and they took so many lives through that false government control to cause fear, to distract people. It's all about distractions, distracting you. So false prophet information as well out there. So it's really important that on 9/11 we celebrate ourselves, but also the Yeshua, and the Yeshua that lives within all of us, as Yeshua is within us. We are the second coming of Yeshua. His beautiful, he is, as we spoke prior, he was Noah who helped birth all of creation. So all beings on earth carry a fractalization of Yeshua in some form. Everyone's unique in that point of view, but you do carry some essence of Yeshua. So understand that Yeshua is in your heart, and that's why when you hear or you connect to him, he brings you to tears, because he reminds you of the love that you are and that you have always been. Okay, so stay centered on 9/11, because they always play those on the media, which I'm sure a lot of you guys don't watch that already, but in case people who are not familiar to this are watching this, it's part of the black magic bindings. They feed off you as you're watching these 9/11 recap, and all these people that they themselves, were part of planning this attack. And then you're watching them, and you're just feeding into that energy. And instead, we're actually supposed to be celebrating and remembering that Yeshua was born on 9/11, September 11. And there goes the 9 again, the 9. There was a specific day, I believe someone was saying that there was going to be, the rapture was going to begin. And it added up to the 9 again. So it's just really important that you understand that anytime you see the 9, it is a Christ consciousness flow, Christ consciousness. We did channel the Christ consciousness as well. And they are the original, first, beside the first race that the angelics created. The angelics are the first essences of source coming out into the multiverse, and then into the universe, creating the universe. And then from there, the very first race that they created, which has no dimension, is the Christ consciousness, is this beautiful energy, I guess, race, you can call it alien race, but they're more than that. Okay. So there's a lot of confusion going on right now. It's something that Archangel Michael started talking about through our show, Cosmic Mother Rising. If you guys haven't checked it out yet, under rumble.com, go check it out. Also, understand that the views all around are not accurate what you're looking at. If you look at, say, my YouTube profile, my profile has been viewed about 1.1 million times. So the views and the subscriptions are not accurate. Something is off, but that's okay. It's serving a purpose for whatever reason. So all around, we talked about this, how there's a archon system where they ensure that the people who are speaking in love light, true love light, their numbers look like they're less, some people. So I just wanted to ensure that you are, when you're seeing that you understand there's a lot more people viewing, there's a lot more people understanding this content than what is being shown. Okay. in numbers. They're all controlled, the numbers, as far as in the system, in the platforms. Okay. Now, going into, yes, so going back to the nine, what they were explaining, and Archangel Michael was explaining to me, is that there's a lot of confusion, a lot of distractions right now. So for us to be very cautious, they find whoever's a vibratory match to being, say, a false prophet, a false, is the best word that we can use. And then they feed that into the collective, and it depends if you want to be, if you believe it, and then you become part of this false prophecy. There's a lot of also talking about that's really, I think, also rooted to people thinking that it's the rapture, and it has to do with making sure that you all can still hear me good. Looks like it. Okay. But yes, it has to do that people think that there's a lot of talk going on right now that some people are being conned a little bit into, that is that Earth is not going to crystallize, and we're not going to crystallize. We're going to stay carbon based. So something you have to be very cautious as well as you're listening to these different contents. And if you believe it, then what they're doing is, what Archangel Michael was telling me is, if you believe that, and then you believe that the rapture is going to happen, but then everyone's going to stay here, and however this is being communicated, then what's that doing is that it's putting you into that inverted timeline, into that inverted earthly, inverted, false prophet information. So you don't want to be going through that route. Be very, very cautious, heart discerning within yourself, and just love. Love is the key to everything, and everything that we're speaking about. If you surround yourself with the force fields of love light, like we always talk about, then you'll be able to read these false prophecies, because what they're doing is that they're creating all these inverted timelines, creating fear-based, like Armageddon things, like the rapture, all of these things that are distracting you, and then they themselves are you are being part of unbalancing the earth, and sometimes earth has to earthquakes. Sometimes earth speaks in the way that she ripples out this energies through earthquakes, through volcanoes, through tornadoes, through twisters, through hurricanes. She has to sometimes evolve those, but then it's also a combination of the fact that these natural disasters are also rooted to the AI. Because the earth never had these kind of things when we were in the organic, so that's the form that she has to ripple that out. Okay. All right, so to understand that we understand this content, and this video won't be as long as the next one, we have to understand that these energies, and then they'll be talking more about false prophets in the next video, the Council 4. But going back to this, the rapture has already begun. It's within you, it's within me, it's within all of creation. And it happens every day. It's happening even now, today, in this most powerful day of the 9/9 portal. It's happening in special days where any portal date that you see, any duplication, number sequence that you're seeing within the days is happening. Portal dates are happening, and you can see them as raptures, because the way it works when these raptures are happening, we'll call it that, it's basically ascension. What's happening is that sometimes, say on a portal day, like say today, 999, if you don't eat light, if you're maybe eating dense and heavy, you can just end up crashing and just falling asleep for the whole day. If you're not in the highest love light, if you're watching inverted things, if you're surrounding yourself with people who are not love light, that can drain you, because you're actually supposed to be the portal. You are the portal to ascension. You are this, say, rapture, and you are the second coming of Christ. So therefore you are a portal of source. And if you are not matching the highest vibration in these portal dates that you want to keep an eye on, we often talk about, but just know on your own that these numbers, these duplicated numbers, will be days like that, and those will be rapture days. It's like what they explained to me. It's like there's constant waves of energies that come forth from source, and that are rooted, connected to the collective. So, for example, um, let's see, I think it was 9495. There's some, so we're at 99. No, okay, it was 9-5 through 9-8. The energies felt a little bit exhausting, so you needed to be very cautious on what you were watching. Again, all of that we said, and integrating with, because there was this flow of energy that was happening that was preparing us for the peak, which is now 9-9. This peak of portal of ascension, portal of we are those ascension portals. And what was going on through there is that we were meant to be holding the strongest source of light during these times. So the way that they explain is that everyone is safe. Don't worry, you are safe. Stay in love light, stay in source, stay in trust. Trust yourself, trust your team, trust your higher self, trust God, source, trust the creator, trust your benevolent team, the angelics, whoever you are communicating with. Trust them and know that you will be guided and flowed. So what they showed me in a recent dream time is if in case some of you guys are having these dreams, like there was this, so we are in a car. So the car represents a representation to your life path and how well you're controlling it. Okay. And if someone else is driving your car, that means that you're not in control of it. But if you're driving your car, that means you're in control of it. So all of a sudden, this wave starts coming forth, and this wave is in the form of an avalanche. And then we're going to take questions. I'm almost done here. And this wave of it is like an avalanche, and it's freezing everything. And as it's freezing everything and going through the energies and spreading throughout Earth, and it's circulating the whole entire Earth, you have to seek shelter. Shelter would be your sacred temple, a safe space, a shielded space of love light, of source, a space perhaps that you are surrounded with crystals and your force fields, your plants, whatever helps you feel serene. And they showed that everyone got there. Everyone got to that safe rapture wave, because that rapture has been happening. This is what people have been talking about. Something big is happening. Something big is happening. It's already happened. It's already happening now. So yeah, no panic, and understand that, yeah, that's what I was shown. This wave avalanche was going through. It was like a snow avalanche, and it was going through, and it was freezing everything. And then everyone I saw was able to find shelter, those who allowed it, of course. So yeah, maintain your energy balance, and let's keep creating those organic timelines. Okay, let's not be part of feeding the inverted. I think we had enough of that. Archangel Michael, I was talking to Archangel Michael, and I was like, what is, oh goodness, nowadays I just want to sleep and sleep for a long time. It's like my bed feels so heavenly. But what he was explaining is that, what he told me is that he's like, those med beds people keep talking about, because this is a time that you're helping the collective through portal ascensions, through raptures, all these that we're talking about. So as you're sleeping, you're doing this, and or taking naps or resting. But your bed, he said, is your med bed. Stop going to technology. Your bed is your med bed. If it doesn't feel like it's a crystalline, sacred space, then you need to work on creating your bed into that sacred space. Crystals, energy, cleansing the space, grids, crystal grids, ensuring that all spaces are clean within it, ensuring that your energy is clean when you go to bed. And this will create it into crystalline, real med bed, versus the real energetic one, the one that's interdimensional, multidimensional, healing you every night when you go to sleep. So if you're not doing that, start doing that. That's your med bed. Your bed is, treat it sacredly, because that's what it is. And stop, you need to start going into underestimating the power of of the delta brainwave, which is your sleep. Start taking it into your power. So very important during these times that you want to be resting. But if you eat light and you eat vegan is most important, and no processed sugar during these times, you won't need to sleep as much, because you'll be able to be conscious more versus your body not being able to be a match. What happens is when you eat this density, then your body's not a matching vibration to the portal of ascension you're meant to be. And then you just kind of are drained and you fall asleep. But sometimes you do need naps. Okay, so let's go ahead and take some questions for a good 10 minutes, and then we're gonna take a break before we do our next video. So the next one here is comment. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh my God. Whoa, are you kidding me? That is huge for me because I didn't know that. Okay, comment. Ethiopians celebrate 9/11 as the new year. Are you serious? What? Sometimes I get wild myself because I don't research these things. It's just like given to me by the angels and by whoever I'm talking to of benevolence. Oh my God, you all. Okay, that's exciting. So what does that mean, huh? So since you brought that up, oh my God, that is cool. Thank you for that. I get excited. Okay, so wow. So in case you don't know about the Ethiopian calendar, it's the most clear calendar that you could go by, and I believe they're in about 7 years behind to us. So really, maybe they're in 2015 or 14, but you can look that up. And so they go by the 13 moon cycle. So at some point, the Illuminati, the Cabal, the dark forces change the rest of the world into running by the 12 months, when actuality is supposed to be the 13 moon cycle. Well, that threw off the whole ecosystem and the equilibrium of Earth, but we recalibrated back. But with that is very powerful, that 9/11 is the new year. Thank you for that, because then that means that we all should be celebrating the new year on 9/11. So let's do that, you all. Let's celebrate 9/11 as the new year, and it would also help us understand the second coming of Christ consciousness, right? Oh my God, that was such a huge clue for us, a piece of the puzzle. So that would be the second coming of Christ consciousness. So it connects, because at that point, wow. So let's all treat that, if you feel it in your heart, of course, like we always say, as the new year. So let's start creating from there and treat everything sacred, instead of the January 1st. I'm just wowed, because even when you add 9/11, what does that add up to, you all? 911 adds up to 11. And then what does that add up to? The 1/1. Oh my God. So the 1/1 of the new year. What? Wow, phenomenal. Okay. So treat that sacredly. So thank you for that. Let me see if there's anything I want to add to that question, listening to what they want to say. Beautiful. So let's honor that time, and let's counter that black magic that they're always doing on the attack that they staged, that they did themselves and harmed those people. Let's counter that with love. Let's birth that out with flowers of love. Let's envision flowers emanating out from us, multifaceted flowers from our third eyes, from our hearts, from our eyes, from our souls, from all that we are. These flowers, the multifaceted flowers of the multiverse. Thank you. Yes. Okay. So now, someone else said, I just had someone in Seattle from Africa who told me the same thing, that 9/11 being their calendar new year. Whoa, so cool. Thank you, guys. Thank you. That is super. See, it's beautiful, because those of you who are here listening now, or even in the future, your higher selves are part of making these videos with us, and your comments and your questions are very much part of our fruition and our spread of the sacred knowledge. So thank you for all that you do. I love you with all that I am. You are so beautiful. Okay. So the next one is, so Yeshua birthday 9/11. Thank you. When is Mary Magdalene's birthday? Oh, I haven't looked into that. I have to talk to her and figure that out. Must be a very powerful day, right? As well. I know that he was older. He was born before her, and he needed to basically, when he came in, Yeshua, he cleared the space so that she could come. So he started it. He began it. Even back then in Jerusalem, in the Qumran, in the scenes when he was where he was born in the caves, in the 12 caves. You know, that's why they show Mother Mary in the cave, because there's 12 caves that are connected to the 12, 13 keys of the universe, and the universal laws, sacred laws that we talk about. So he was born through these beautiful caves, very sacred space there, and it's shielded. So don't even step. I'm talking to the dark forces who try to infringe on these sacred spaces. So then let's see. So that was a message from the Christ consciousness. That I just channeled. Okay, so it's all shielded with love light, so don't worry. But yeah, I don't know when her Magdalene birthday is. 5-5. Uh-huh. That feels very right. Absolutely. And actually, we're going to talk about the importance of number 4 and 5 in the next channeling. So I agree. I absolutely infinitely agree. There's like this 5-5 thing that they do that is part of the programming here in the States, where they have all like Mexicans celebrate um Mexican independence, and it's like parading around. It's just it's part again of the inverted. So, and also Mother Mary and her roses that that the you know, the Mexican culture talks about, and how Mother Mary came with her roses. Yeah, so there's the 5-5. That completely makes sense, because Mary Magdalene was also Mother Mary in a form, because she was the daughter of Mother Mary, you know, daughter-in-law. But they were both born, Yeshua and Magdalene were born from Mother Mary, who is Divine Mother of Creation, from her heart. And she, Divine Mother, means all the 5-5-5s, the 5 elements: the earth, fire, water, wind, and spirit. So yeah, I agree with what was channeled there with whoever said that. Beautiful. So that's her birthday. So let's celebrate that. There, she's saying that that is correct. Most beautiful. Thank you for that. Okay, the next one here is: many cultures have the rapture idea of the entire civilizations just disappeared. Is that a form of ascension? It is a form of ascension. So, so there are groupings on Earth that did just ascend, and when their bodies, when they ascended, their bodies did perish if they were in a time and space where it was 3D, because if they have the body, which would be connected to that. Yeah. So yes, those were ascension times. They ascended out, something to be celebrated, not to be feared. Because as we know, once we ascend out, we lose the physical, the carbon base, and we turn. Carbon base is all rooted to the inverted matrix. Again, don't fall for the false prophecies. It's all rooted to that. So very important. Stay in your heart. Okay. Yeah, good question and comment there. With the Queen of England dying, does that signify a significant event? Like the rapture is supposed to be a significant event. So, we'll have to look into that for you, because I think I almost feel like that's like a whole video or a sensitive content video that I would have to make individually, not on this platform that we're on now. So, I think it's also, it is a sign for the benevolence that you know, the queen has fallen in some form. But then, like, okay, if the queen has fallen, what are these inverted control systems going to, who's going to be next, you know, who's going to be the new queen or whatever. So yeah, there's something important about that in this moment in time that has happened during the month of the 9, right? Again, with the importance of the 9. Okay, next one is the rapture just about finding ourselves? Why do churches make the Bible version seem so scary and destructive to everything? Yeah, it is for sure finding ourselves, self-healing, self-loving, growing, discovering all versions of us through the 4 sacred directions, which again, we'll be talking about that in the next video. So understanding our multidimensionality and our multiverse as well, versions. So let's see. Yep, you got the answers. That's right. And why do they make it so scary and destructive? Because they want you to be fearful of finding yourself, of loving yourself, of discovering who you are. They don't want you to realize that you're that superhero, like we've always talked about. They don't want you to know that you are the second coming of Christ consciousness, of Christ, of Yeshua, Jesus. I love him. I just love talking about him. Just, I'm sure you all feel it. Like, oh, the love. It's undescribable. His love and his, and in combination though with his Magdalene, because when I talk about Yeshua, it's both of them, Magdalene together in their sacred union. It's beautiful. They're whole at the highest essence, of course. They're together. So yeah, right on. Next one is, what can we do to prepare our bodies, particularly those of us who have bodies which need to release weight and other thoughts around us? Yeah. So really a lot of detoxing would be good, like healthy eatings. When you are passing number 1 and number 2, that you ask any excess weight that you're carrying that is passed through your 1 and 2 releasement, because that's a very powerful alchemy transmutation when you're doing this daily things that we do, functions. So what you want to do is ask for that energy to transmute out and to pass out. Yeah, I was just talking to a beautiful aura practitioner, and I did not recognize her. I mean, I recognize her so, but I did not recognize her. And we were joking because she was like, you should put on your, if people join your online workshop, then not only will you become walking your organic timeline and then remove yourself from the inverted, but you will lose 50 pounds, because that's what she did. She literally lost 50 pounds by going, she said, I believe she said she was vegetarian, and not vegan, but yes, vegetarian, not eating any processed sugar as much as possible, but we know they put it in different things. And she lost 50 pounds. It's like working and being in her most crystalline body energetically and harnessing that into her physical body. Literally, she looked amazing. And I think her workshop was maybe like 10 months ago. It was like in July, something like that. Or no, like a year ago. I can't even remember, but it was definitely a year or 10 months ago. And wow. So hey, you guys want to lose weight? Come join a workshop or a retreat. Come learn how to remove that density inside of you that's, rooted to entities, implants, some dark trauma that you have either in this life or past life, and come remember how to remove that from within you, and then help others start beginning their self-healing. Okay. Yeah. So that's a very important piece there on how to do that. Something very simple like using the bathroom. But then also like energetically, like if you sit in the sun and sit in the grass and feel that energy flowing out through you, and also energetically releasing out from your root, kind of like a ball movement, but like coming out, energy coming out and releasing out to earth. And she is magnetically there to help us transmute that. So do that. That's another form, but there's many forms that you could come up with on your own as well. I'm looking good here. No issues with technology. Good. Okay. So keep going. I just gotta keep checking that we're good. Okay. So a couple more questions and we will be done in about 4 minutes. So someone comment, just an FYI, that 9/8 date of her death was also the date of our independence, signing on 9/8. Oh, 1776. Oh, beautiful. Okay, thank you. Okay. How do we, the collective, embrace the inverted timelines so that we can heal them without becoming infringed upon, especially those that do not know your teachings? So first you need to locate them, find them, and our videos are all about that. Infinite. The aura regressions, the higher selves alone, give such an infinite explanation to how to start finding the inverted timeline. So if you watch the playlist of aura hypnosis past life regression under YouTube, which we have maybe 160 videos there alone, That can take it as homework, take notes, prepare yourself, take every video that we do as a sacred teaching, as that's what it is, and it's always anchored in for that purpose and that intent. So yeah. And so something as simple as go to my website, and it's $50, 55 actually, 55 there again, for to a video on how to shield, and it teaches you how to use the force around you and the alchemy and the elements around you to how to shield. So that alone is a very inexpensive way that you can then start removing, because once you step into that love light force field around you, that in itself starts removing and bringing you into sacred awareness of the inverted timeline, so that at that point you can start removing them, deleting them, transmuting them, and ascending out from them into the organic timelines. Okay. Wasn't Mary Magdalene's light fertilized? Advanced priestesses knew how to do that in ancient times. What do you mean fertilize? Fertilizated. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. Fertilizated. What do you mean her light was fertilizated? So do you mean like it fertilized throughout Earth? Yeah, absolutely. Because when he passed, and then eventually when she passed afterwards, after she raised her beautiful children, yeah, she became as a fertilizer, just like he did in the channelings that we've talked about, how he explains it. You can watch that to understand that. Okay. So next one is, what happens to the divine counterpart, the part that chose to go against the union, that are possibly controlled by the dark? Oh, that's a hard question. So if they don't end up ascending out, what will happen? Rapturing out into becoming, say, the second of Christ consciousness and in union to source, and the fifth, sixth dimension, really what we'd be going into. What will happen is that they will be transmuted to source, and they will their soul will begin again in some kind of life force. But know that in the higher self, oversoul perspective, your other half is always there. It's just that a fractal of them became compromised, became clouded, and did not wake up in time. So the biggest thing to this is that they want to explain that the time is now, you all. Stop hesitating, stop waiting, stop procrastinating. I was talking to Archangel Metatron recently, and through a session, and then I was also talking to Michael and Yeshua, and they were explaining that we're going too slow, you all. You need to speed it up. Speed it up. There's not enough time. Move faster. They explain, oh, you're way ahead of the collective. But everyone else needs to speed it up, you all. Stop. No more excuses. We need you to speed it up. Move, move, move. Keep moving. In flow, of course. But let's do it. Come on. Come on, y'all. Come on. Light that fire. Oh, okay. So that she was going back to the Mary Magdalene, that she was pregnant by light or being a virgin. Well, she was a virgin when she met Yeshua, but no, that was a natural impregnation. They sacredly had sacred sex and did create their sacred union. Now, in a form, though, they do it also when you are having sacred sex and you create sacred babies, light babies, like they did. What happens is that you're not just having it here in the physical; you're actually having it in the light as well. So it's happening multi-dimensionally, this sacred act. So that could be a form of understanding, is what she said. Okay. All right, guys, we got lots of questions, and I do need to prepare for the next video. We always go longer than I say. Okay. So are we able to help the collective with the rapture during dream time and meditation? Absolutely, infinitely. We are able to do that. So the way that we do that is that you help with your energy. Instead of going into fear, instead of going into mistrust and worry, you let go of that. It's like they always explain, like, if as much as you feed worry and fear into your thoughts all day long, and you alchemize that and transform that into instead love and trust in your divine beauty, then all your aspirations and dreams would come true. because all that energy is being a bit wasted right now to the dark forces. And like they always say, you know, when you doubt or when you go into these lower emotions, you're doing the job for them, right? The negativity. So the negative entities, the archons, the AI. So let's not go that route. So yeah, being your most highest, most beautiful light that you can be, and no understanding though that we'll have our days that we will have be sad or angry, or and so long as we find balance again. Okay. So yes, do that first begins within you, and then that's how you can help the collective in dream time. Very powerful. Set intentions. Hey, I want to help the collective higher self. If this is the time, always without overstepping boundaries, without harming none. We set those intentions right before you're going to do something for the collective, and then all within will be within divine light, love. Okay. Somebody's birthday is today. Happy birthday! Does the energy of today mean anything significant for me and others whose birthdays are today? It means what I explained at the beginning, the 9. And Christ consciousness, you yourself will hold a very strong beacon of Christ consciousness energy here. So thank you. Thank you for being birthed in this time. Okay. I'm trying to stick to what's exactly we're talking about, the rapture. So someone's asking, can you speak of the Psalms from the Bible? I don't know what that is. The apostles and why they have them in church in the form of a cross. I don't know what a Psalms is. I won't be too familiar with this church stuff, even though I was brought up Catholic. I kind of just tuned it all out. I was like, my BS meter was going off the whole time. So yeah, form of a cross. And the cross is they inverted the cross. It's really most beautiful, sacred. And we're about to talk about it actually in the next videos. It's amazing how these videos just flow divinely and intertwine one another. So beautiful. They're all such important sacred teachings. But yeah, we'll talk about the cross and what it really means in the next video. But the way that they're using it is that they're inverting it. They're drawing in negativity into the 4 sacred directions that we are, and the universe and the multiverses. So yeah. Okay. If someone around you. Okay, yeah, so we're gonna stick with the questions here to the rapture. All right, that is all. We've answered all of them. I actually need to be back. Give me 10 minutes, you all. So I'll be like 5 minutes late for the next one. Thank you everyone for being here. I love you, honor you, and respect you. I will see you in about 10 minutes. Okay, all right, be back. Love you all. Thank you. Thank you for being you. Share, subscribe, follow us in all our social media platforms. I love you with all that I am. Talk to you soon.